On Monday, FBI agents searched Trump's Mar-a-Lago property. The search, part of an ongoing investigation into whether the former president took classified records from the White House to Mar-a-Lago illegally. Trump maintains he provided the National Archives with presidential records in an ordinary and routine process. It's the first time in this nation's history federal agents have searched a former president's private home. Trump's lawyer says about a dozen boxes of items were removed. A former Deputy Assistant Attorney General at the Justice Department speaking to Newsy about the process of getting a warrant in a high-profile situation like this.
You have to lay out probable cause to believe a crime has occurred. That's something that a magistrate will determine. In this case, however, everybody knows this affidavit is going to see the light of day eventually and be fly-spec, so I suspect they were very specific and detailed. It's a little bit of a tactical judgment call on their part, but my strong suspicion is they made it in favor of more detail, not less, and making it positively bulletproof.
The president, who was in New York at the time of the search, released this statement saying, quote, "Nothing like this has ever happened to a president of the United States before. After working and cooperating with the relevant government agencies, this unannounced raid on my home was not necessary or appropriate." Meanwhile, the fight to reveal the former president's tax returns is moving forward. Tuesday, a federal appeals court approved a request that allows a special House committee to obtain Trump's tax returns from the IRS. The decision from the D.C. Circuit Court is a major defeat for Trump, who has spent years trying to prevent the release of his tax information. However, Trump lawyers could appeal the decision and continue to extend the litigation. On Wednesday, Trump invoked his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination and refused to answer any questions from New York's Attorney General during a deposition. The deposition comes following a 3-year civil investigation into the Trump Organization's finances. The New York AG says there is evidence the organization used false information to obtain loans, accusations the Trump Organization denies. Prior to the deposition, Trump himself posted about the situation on Truth Social, calling it a, quote, continuation of the greatest witch hunt in U.S. history. Then on Thursday, Attorney General Merrick Garland announced the DOJ was asking a court to unseal the search warrant and property receipt from Monday's search. The Attorney General citing the substantial public interest in the case as reason to unseal the warrant, which would include details about what crimes federal law enforcement officials suspected could be committed. Garland also said he personally approved the search warrant.
The department does not take such a decision lightly. Where possible, it is standard practice to seek less intrusive means as an alternative to a search and to narrowly scope any search that is undertaken.
Trump said late Thursday on his social media platform he also wanted documents related to the search to be released. But later Thursday, the Washington Post reported that the FBI was looking for classified documents related to nuclear weapons when it searched Mar-a-Lago. The Post reporting did not indicate whether agents were able to successfully retrieve any such documents from the resort. Intelligence officials are concerned that classified documents containing sensitive material could potentially fall into the wrong hands if not secured. Documents about nuclear weapons capabilities are usually highly restricted to just a small number of government officials. On Friday, a judge unsealed certain documents related to Monday's search warrant. The warrant revealed FBI agents removed 11 sets of classified information from the Trump property, including some marked as top secret. These types of classified documents are among the nation's most highly sensitive. The revelations undercut Trump and his allies' claims that the search warrant was baseless. The DOJ is investigating if Trump violated 3 federal laws, including espionage, obstruction of justice, and criminal handling of government records. Then yesterday we learned at least one of Trump's lawyers in June said all classified material at Mar-a-Lago had been returned to the government. That's according to a report from the New York Times. That written statement reportedly came after a Justice Department official had stopped by the president's private residence. The former president is claiming on his social media site that the declassified documents found at Mar-a-Lago were declassified before leaving the White House. He did not provide any details or evidence. Trump also claims investigators could have had the documents any time they wanted to, though again, this new reporting suggests investigators were told in June that everything was already handed over.
When it comes to classified information, the moment the president leaves office, he's not necessarily going to be possessing a security clearance, and he doesn't have one right now. There is absolutely no reason for a former president or any other former official to have classified information in their personal possession. We prosecute people and have in the past for taking classified information for themselves.